What up, kids? Today we doing radiator on a Jeep Cherokee. This is a V6. It's a 2016. So I did a pressure test, and you can see it's like kind of wet right there. It was just pouring out from there. Anyway, first thing, you gotta take off your cover. Second thing, you gotta take off this cover right here. Let me reduce this here. You got a bunch of push pins. So your best friend right here, it's gonna be a trim tool like this. You got a couple like this. If you go to Amazon.com, just Google trim tools, and you'll get stuff like this guy right here. Also lubricant. So you want to spray these with lube, some lubricant if they're all dry and stuck. Sometimes I go in here and squeeze the top part with these, and then come up and get the bottom part with this. However you want to do it, you got to get them out. Break them off if you want to. That's what I do sometimes if they're really stuck. So anyways, you got them, you know, 3 over here, and then going along here, and another 3 over here, and you got like 4 right here, 2 of them right here, 1 right here. Anyway, just take them all out. All right, set it to the side. Next thing, you gotta take this out. These are all 8mm holding this in. Also, you got a bunch. You're gonna need your trim tool and take out all of these little push pins along here. Just take them all out. You got 8mm on the side right there. You got one up here, another one right here, another one right here, right here, another one here on the side. I think right here, maybe on the front. Anyways, take them all out. 8mm. Now to get this out, the trick is it's held in right here on the sides, on this little rubber thing. See this little groove right here? It's hooked onto this, so you need to release it here. Also undo this horn electrical connector. Spray it with some lube if it's stuck. You gotta undo that groove right there, and then pull this out right here. You got some little pins back here. You know, lift that up, and this you just gotta wiggle it and just get all the you know, it's just the wires holding it in. They're just in the way. So and just, you know, you don't have to take out that 10mm right there with the horns. Leave the horns in there. Just unplug it. Which is this guy. All right, so we're gonna have to take out that 10 right there. There's an 8mm down there. Let me see if I can zoom in on that guy. Right there. You gotta take out the 8mm right there. These are all holding in the condenser. This one right here. And then there should be another one. Let's see. Yeah, right there. There's one right there, and there's another 10. Looks like 2 of them down there, maybe. An 8mm and a 10. Right there. There they go, right there. Those 2 guys right there. That's an 8mm and a 10mm. Gotta take those out. So I'm gonna want to pull this out. Pull this out. You know, the air dams. You gotta twist them and turn them and get them out. If you get them right here in the middle, then you can pull them up right here. We're gonna take those out, and then these right here are the brackets for the radiator. So that's a 10mm right there. You got a 10mm right there, and then this bracket will come out. And then you take off those. So let me get these brackets out, and then I'm gonna work on taking those bolts out on the sides and taking these air dams out. Okay, actually there's more than these brackets for the radiator. There's actually one right here on the top. There's one right there on the bottom. There's one right here on the side. Then there's an 8mm. Those are all 10s. Then there's an 8mm in the back. I took it out already, but see, it goes right in there, in that hole. So you can take this 10mm out right here if you need to move this. I just kind of forced this up and then squeeze that plastic. Same thing over here. One on the top, one on the bottom, which I've taken out, one on the side. Then there's one in the back right there. You can just kind of move this, bend it a little bit, and then these will come out. So you want to pull these up. Oh yeah, this right here, you don't have to take these out. And this one right here has an ambient air sensor connected to it also, which plugs in right there. I just took that out, but I just moved them into the side. All you want to do is get access to, you want to take this 10 out right here. Then you've got a 10 and an 8, another 10mm right there, and then an 8mm down at the bottom. Or I know there's like, this is a 10, then you got an 8mm and a 10 right down there where I showed you those bolts earlier. So all you want to do is just get those bolts out. That's why you want to move these to the side. You ain't got to take them out, because you just want to get the radiator out. That's what you want. So you just want to be able to pull, the condenser away from the radiator. That's the goal here. All right, so now we're going to take these brackets out. Then we're going to take the hoses off. And then I'm probably going to pull the fans out with the radiator as an assembly. So I'm looking at this, and I actually got enough clearance where I can just leave those radiator brackets on and just pull it all the way forward. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna have to cut this off right here. And then we gotta unplug the fan, of course, right here. And then that fan, that coolant hose down there has a let's see. All right, that coolant hose has like a metal like pin right there. I don't know if you can see it. So I'm gonna take a long pick like this. So I'm gonna take this long pick right here and just like pull up on it and release it. So these little brackets on the side, you just kind of finagle them out. Just push them over, twist it. Same thing over here. So what I decided to do is take the fan out, cause I'm gonna be fighting with that pipe right there. So there's just a 10mm right there, and there's a 10mm right there, and that's it. And then it's hooked on at the bottom on a clip, like on a. I'll show you when I take it out. So I'm just gonna pull this out, and I'll show you. So I'm just gonna lift it up, get it over this pipe, and then kind of pull it away from this hose over here. Comes out pretty easy. See, there's just a 10 right there, 10 right there, and see, it's just a little indentation right there on both sides, and they just drop down actually into the radiator on that hinge right there and that hinge right there at the bottom. And see, there's a clip I was talking about. That's what I took out. That's why I needed that that long pick. And I think I don't need to take it all the way out. I'm gonna just go ahead and take it all the way out. And now that should pull off. Let's spray it with some lube. Pop that off. And now this is ready to come out. Just got to take that off. Let's see. This is going to transfer. These are going to transfer to the new radiator. And yeah, she's ready to come out. There's something else I was going to show you. I'll figure it out in just a second. Okay, I just remembered. All right, so when taking that fan out, this, you're going to be fighting with this. Just, you're gonna have to keep pulling it forward and just don't get caught up on that. This is gonna be your only hang up right here, taking out that fan. And also, this hose, right? Inside, you see there's a little white, it's like a seal. Make sure you don't lose that, okay? All right, so, and also be careful with that. So you're replacing the radiator, so, you know, screw the radiator. You can break it because you're replacing it, but you don't want to mess up this. This will break. And also try to, if you kind of set it back a little bit, it won't leak so much. So I'm gonna just kind of tilt it back a little bit. All right, now we can pull this up. Let me see. Yeah, look at that. All right, so probably gonna need 2 hands for this. I wonder if I could set you up here somehow. All right. Gosh. I kind of want to show you. Well, you know, you get the idea. It's going to come out. It's loose. What do we owe? Okay. Oh, you're gonna have to clear that bottom part right here. So you're gonna have to get this past the condenser. So you have to pull the condenser forward. All right. Pro tip 101. All right. So if you got trouble, get you a BFH, big fucking hammer, long pry bar, real long. And if you're having trouble taking it out, you can break these off right here on the corners. Just give them a couple whacks with the just put your pry bar on top of it and knock it down with a hammer, and you can snap those plastics off right there. Because you're putting a new one in, and it doesn't matter if you break it or not, it's already broke. You're replacing it, so you can tear it up. That's if you're having, because it's going to get caught right here on the bottoms. Same thing over here, it's going to get caught right here. So a lot of times I usually just tear the radiator up before I remove it. I just bust out and knock off a couple plastic parts. Same thing whenever I remove condensers. I always break these tabs right here and right there on the old radiator, because you got to take the condenser out. I just hit them with a hammer and a pry bar and break them, and that'll knock the condenser loose instead of having to lift the condenser up and down and fight with it. All right, so we're gonna transfer the bottom part. There's this little thing right here. This slides off right here, and you're gonna oh, it looks like it's already got it. Okay. So you don't have to transfer it. All right, so, and the new one has these also. Okay, so I thought we were gonna have to transfer that. All right, good to go. All right, we'll just drop this in there. It's got everything. And sometimes you gotta put these, slide these in there, the little holes for the bolts. It's rockauto.com right there. All right, so I'm gonna drop this in there. Really, that's it. I mean, if I find any more tips while I'm putting it back in, I'll let you know. Okay, so drop the radiator in, and you need to you want to get the condenser on top of that bracket right there on the bottom. So you want to kind of sneak the bottom of the radiator back underneath the condenser so that it lines up with your bolt holes correctly. It'd be a good time to go ahead and put your bolts in for the condenser if you're going to bolt it back up, which we are. I'm going to put that bolt in right there. And go ahead and get your bottom of your radiator inside those little holes. And now you can kind of push these back into place after you got your bolts in. The only reason you move these out of the way is to get access to those bolts. So once you got your bolts in, you can put your air dams back out of the way. Go ahead and put your bottom hose in, put that clip on, make sure it's on there. So try to, you know, pull it off. If you make sure it doesn't pull off. And getting that out, if it's stuck real bad, just grab it and then kind of twist it back and forth like that. And then I would use the, you know, the long pry bar and put it between the radiator and the hose and kind of pry it here, and then pry it on that side. Because I mean, it doesn't matter if you break the radiator, you know, it's already broken. So you can use the radiator for leverage. All right, so we're just gonna drop the fan back in right on top of those little mounts down there, and then we're pretty much done. So at this time, you know, I got everything back in. You just kind of gotta finagle those in there, make sure that they're on all the way. It'll give you room. If you took your ambient air temperature sensor out, like I did, go ahead and make sure you got that back in there. Make sure you put a new clamp on there. These, and you know, in order to release these, it has a hook right here, and this hooks onto on that side. So if you just lift up right here, lift up on that hook, it'll come right up. You can, I just use like a pick and just lifted it up. And then we're just gonna put this guy back in, put our wires on, hook our horn back up, and then put your cover on. You're done. Bleed it out. You're gonna add coolant right here, let it run until it gets up to operating temperature, and then top it off. Let the thermostat open up, top it off, and you're done. It's a 2016 Jeep Cherokee 3.2 liter V6 radiator replacement. Don't forget to subscribe to the videos. Peace.